英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
Heavy rain in Chiba Prefecture has left 8 people dead. Some victims were found on roads or inside vehicles. A level 5 emergency warning was issued during the disaster. Authorities released more information on August 14th about the damage caused by the record rainfall.
The volcanic alert for Mount Aso's Nakadake has been raised from level 2 to level 3, restricting entry to the mountain. Volcanic activity and gas emissions have increased. Officials say the link to the recent Kumamoto earthquake is unknown. Large rocks and pyroclastic flows are possible within 2 kilometers. Aso Mountain Plaza is closed, but Kusasenri remains open.
Russia has rejected Japan's protest over President Vladimir Putin's visit to Itorofu in the Northern Territories. The Russian Foreign Ministry said comments by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi were completely unacceptable. Russia repeated that Itorofu and the other Kuril Islands are legally inseparable parts of Russia, with no doubt about its sovereignty or control.
The Kyushu Expressway is fully open again, 17 days after the Kumamoto earthquake. At 6 a.m. on August 14th, traffic resumed in both directions between Matsubashi Interchange in Kumamoto Prefecture and Ebino Interchange in Miyazaki Prefecture. This reopened the final section that had been closed because of last month's earthquake.
Akita Prefecture has suspended a 55-year-old manager-level employee over inappropriate behavior during an online press briefing. The briefing concerned a plan to build one of Japan's largest data centers. The employee answered reporters while smoking, wearing inappropriate clothing, and sitting in an inappropriate place.
ASX has decided to dissolve and liquidate its consolidated subsidiary, ASX Trading. The plan was approved by the board on August 14th. All of the subsidiaries' businesses and operations will move to ASX or ASX Japan to speed up global growth in walking products. Its online store will stop taking orders on October 30th, with sales restarting in February 2027.
A pediatric dentist reports seeing serious dental neglect among children. One recent case involved a 4-year-old whose 20 baby teeth all had cavities. Other children have had broken front teeth left untreated. The dentist says parents may lack time, emotional energy, or money for dental care. Summer vacation can worsen diets and dental care.
A 74-year-old man taking part in a meteor shower tour was found in cardiac arrest inside a crater on Mount Karakuni. He was reported missing near the summit at about 5:50 a.m. on August 13th. Police and firefighters found him about 5 hours later, roughly 150 meters below the summit. They suspect he fell.
Foldable smartphones are being released one after another as companies seek new ways to stand out. When opened, they offer a screen almost twice the size of a regular smartphone, but they are compact when closed. Google will release a new model on August 20th. Samsung and Lenovo have released models, and Apple may enter the market soon. 2 screens can support separate tasks.
次は社会のニュースです。
Heavy rain that has continued in Chiba Prefecture since yesterday has left 8 people dead. The victims included men and women in Ichikawa, Sakura, Yachio, Chiba City, and Kashiwa. Emergency safety measures were issued for more than 95,000 people across the prefecture because of the rain.
The volcanic alert for Mount Aso's Nakadake in Kumamoto has been raised from level 2 to level 3, restricting entry. volcanic activity has increased and volcanic gas emissions have risen sharply. People should watch for large rocks and pyroclastic flows within about 2 kilometers. Aso Mountain Plaza is closed, but Kusasenri remains open. The link to the recent Kumamoto earthquake is unknown.
Police and firefighters found a 74-year-old participant in cardiopulmonary arrest in a crater on Mount Karakuni, about 150 meters below the summit. He had gone missing during a family meteor shower tour. The group reached the summit at about 1 a.m. He was last confirmed there at about 4:30 a.m. Police suspect he fell.
The Japanese government is considering countermeasures against Russia after President Vladimir Putin's visit to Itorofu Island in the Northern Territories. Stronger sanctions may be an option. Russia's foreign ministry called comments by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi absolutely unacceptable. The United States said it recognizes Japan's sovereignty over the Northern Territories.
The earthquake that struck Kumamoto Prefecture last month is still affecting places for children. In Uki City and Hikawa Town, where the shaking reached a seismic intensity of 7, about 60% of 19 after-school child care centers have no clear reopening date. Building damage and other problems are preventing their return.
Yokohama Mayor Yamanaka apologized again at the City Council on the 13th. Serious power harassment toward city employees was recognized. Council members questioned him about how he would take responsibility. Yamanaka apologized for his conduct and said he intends to reduce his own salary.
A 50-year-old unemployed woman in Koga, Ibaraki Prefecture, has been indicted on a coercion charge. Prosecutors say she threatened a woman living with her and forced that woman to sew her own lips. On June 18th, she reportedly showed a needle and thread, made threats, and assaulted the woman's face and legs. An earlier injury charge was left pending.
Toshiko Takagi has died, according to the report. The headline mentions the glass rabbit. No information is provided about the date, cause, or circumstances of her death. The available report includes no further details about this news, and the supplied material contains only unrelated access rankings and articles.
The Kyushu Expressway is expected to reopen in both directions from the morning of August 14th. The closed section runs between Matsube's Interchange and Ibino Interchange. It was closed after last month's earthquake. The reopening will restore traffic across the entire expressway 17 days after the earthquake.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Japan's government says Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to the Northern Territories is completely unacceptable. It is considering countermeasures against Russia, including stronger sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The government is also reviewing what steps to take in response to the visit.
Japan's government held a disaster response meeting at about 10 p.m. on the 13th after the heavy rain. Disaster Management Minister Akama attended and said the rain was unlike anything experienced before, warning that people's lives were at risk. The minister also said the government had been told that 2 people were in cardiac arrest.
Japan and the United States carried out coordinated intervention to buy yen, their first such joint action since June 1998. Japan had intervened alone on July 30th, moving the yen from nearly 164 to the dollar to the 157 range. The joint action later pushed it briefly into the 155 range. The Trump administration also saw a strong dollar as harmful to exports.
The Tokyo Stock Exchange rose for a second straight session, closing at 68,713 yen. Buying focused on technology stocks after U.S. stocks moved higher. The market's continued rise was linked to the stronger performance overseas. The report did not provide further details about individual companies or other sectors.
Results for 73 listed regional banks and banking groups in Japan for April through June 2026 are now available. 61, or about 80%, reported higher net profits. Higher lending interest income after central bank rate hikes helped earnings. Combined net profit was 597.9 billion yen, up 36.9% from a year earlier.
Japan's government is starting serious discussions about reducing the number of people covered by the pension system's Category 3 plan. This plan covers spouses supported by company employees who can receive pensions without paying premiums themselves. A review panel will study their lives in September and organize issues for pension reform, planned for 2030. It will also consider coverage for people working multiple jobs.
Japan's corporate goods price index rose 7.2% in July from a year earlier. It stayed above 7% for a second straight month, although growth slowed slightly from June. Higher oil prices linked to unstable conditions in the Middle East, along with strong artificial intelligence demand, pushed up prices between companies. The index is seen as an early sign of consumer price trends.
An international meeting on Pacific bluefin tuna quotas will be held again online on August 18th, an unusual move. The previous meeting failed to agree on larger quotas, but Mexico has changed its position and now supports the proposal. The main issue is whether to raise next year's quota for fish weighing 30 kilograms or more by 25%, while cutting the small fish quota by 6%.
Japan's average retail prices for pork and chicken reached record highs in August. Pork loin rose to 290 yen per 100 grams, while chicken thighs reached 156 yen. Higher import costs, stopped pork imports from Spain, and a shift from expensive beef to cheaper meat are factors. Beef prices fell, but remained above normal levels.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Yuka Yasuda took the lead after the first round of the NEC Karuizawa 72 golf tournament in Nagano. She matched the tournament record with a 61, making 11 birdies and no bogeys. Shiho Kuwaki, who won the British Open, finished the opening round in 60th place.
Roki Sasaki started for the Dodgers against the Brewers and pitched well, allowing 2 runs over 6 innings. However, relief pitchers gave up more runs late in the game, so Sasaki received neither a win nor a loss. Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani had 1 hit. The Dodgers lead the National League West.
Rui Hachimura has been selected for Japan's roster for a basketball warm-up game against South Korea. Yuki Kawamura has also been selected. The match is part of a basketball strengthening game for Japan. The announcement was made on August 14th. Both players are included among the members for this game. Olympic medalists Nozomi Maruyama and Ryota Yamamoto have announced their marriage. Maruyama won bronze in the women's individual normal hill event and the mixed team event at the Milano Cortina Olympics. Yamamoto won bronze in Nordic combined team competition at the Beijing Olympics and switched to ski jumping in July.
In the first game on the 10th day of the Summer National High School Baseball Tournament, Hanamaki Higashi defeated Okayama Gakugeikan 4-1. The Awate team held on to its lead and advanced to the third round. Okayama Gakugeikan scored 1 run, while Hanamaki Higashi scored 4.
Aimei High School of Kagawa defeated Oita Commercial 6-1 in the fourth game on the 9th day of the Summer National High School Baseball Tournament. Strong pitching and hitting helped Aimei win the game. The victory sends the Kagawa team into the third round. Oita Commercial was held to 1 run.
17-year-old Shin Ohashi set a new Japanese record in the men's 100-meter breaststroke. He clocked 58.54 seconds in the final at an international swimming meet in the United States. Ohashi is a third-year high school student. He set the record on August 13th at the meet in California.
続いて国際ニュースです。
The U.S. State Department says it recognizes Japan's sovereignty over the Northern Territories. The statement came after Russian President Vladimir Putin visited Itorofu Island for the first time. The United States also strongly opposes any action that harms peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific. It called the Japan-U.S. alliance stronger than ever.
A United Nations report says nearly 3,050 civilians were killed or injured in Ukraine in July. At least 437 people died and 2,610 were injured, the highest monthly total since March 2022. The number rose 30% from June and 70% from July last year. More casualties may be unreported.
The United States says it can maintain its naval blockade of Iran indefinitely. Defense Secretary Hegseth made the statement. Iran is demanding that the blockade be lifted to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, but the timing of its opening remains unclear.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukrainian forces have reclaimed 745 square kilometers in the southeast this year. He said 26 settlements in 3 regions returned to Ukrainian control and the offensive progressed as planned. A battlefield analysis group reported gains in 19 settlements and advances against Russian troops in 6 others.
Philippine President Marcos said the Philippines will not take steps to avoid clashes if those steps would mean giving up its interests in the South China Sea. The Philippines and China dispute territorial rights in the area.
Colombia says 281 people have died and 3,971 have been injured in a magnitude 7.4 earthquake in the western part of the country. The quake struck on August 10th. Another 379 people are missing. Rescue efforts continue, while the government faces criticism over delays in accepting foreign help.
President Trump has signed a document imposing an additional 100% tariff on some imported drones and drone-related parts. The policy is intended to reduce dependence on countries such as China and lower risks to national security. The measure applies only to some drones and related components.
A federal district court has rejected a lawsuit by the Trump administration against Harvard University. The administration said Harvard failed to protect Jewish students and asked the university to return government grants. The court dismissed the case.
JICA has provided Ukraine's emergency agency with a mine detection system using Ukrainian-made drones. From about 3 meters above the ground, magnetic sensors and optical cameras collect surface and underground data. Artificial intelligence analyzes it to locate possible mines and unexploded bombs. Vehicles for transport were also provided.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
The latest average circulation of the popular manga magazine Weekly Shonen Jump has fallen to just over 980,000 copies. This is the first time it has dropped below 1 million. At its peak, the magazine printed 6.5 million copies. The figures were reported in a recent industry survey.
Poco, a Pokemon, has sold more than 5 million copies worldwide in about 4 months. Released worldwide on March 5th, it is the first Pokemon game for Nintendo Switch 2. Players work with Pokemon to develop an empty town. The slow-life sandbox game features crafting, berries, changing weather, and time linked to real life.
The 4-member idol group For You announced its CD debut on November 11th after its first solo concert at Nippon Budokan. The debut comes 15 years after the group formed, making it the oldest in its company's history. Its members, all 39, have long performed on stage and entered the 2024 M-1 comedy contest.
Children's author Toshiko Takagi, known for Glass Rabbit, died of old age on August 8th. She was 94. Based on her experience losing her parents and 2 younger sisters in the Pacific War, the 1977 book became a bestseller. It sold over 2.4 million copies, was translated, and became an animated film in 2005.
At a film festival in Tokyo, actor Sayuri Yoshinaga called for the abolition of nuclear weapons 81 years after the atomic bombing of Nagasaki. She discussed meeting survivors after filming mother and child, including one who suffered burns and could not sleep facing upward. Director Yoji Yamada also spoke about his awareness of war.
A summer music special will air on August 15th at 6:05 p.m. It will feature 34 acts performing 44 songs. Figure skater Yuzuru Hanyu will perform with Yuzu for the first time, sending a routine from a rink in Sendai. Kazunari Ninomiya, Motoki Omori, and Keiko Kitagawa will host.
A new TV drama, An Imoto, will start in October with Nana Ikura and Eiji Akaso as double leads. It is Ikura's first TV drama lead in 12 years. Yu Miyazaki will play Akaso's sick younger sister, and Tatsunari Kimura will play Ikura's older brother. The story follows a forbidden love.
A Tokyo performance of Summer Sonic 2026 will go ahead as planned in Chiba at Zozo Marine Stadium and Makuhari Messe. The day before, heavy rain caused flooding and transport problems, including some suspension of the Keio line. Organizers urged visitors to check travel updates and watch their step on the way to the event.
Agencies for Twice's Chaeyoung and singer-producer Xiont denied reports that the couple had broken up. After checking with both artists, they said the two still have good feelings for each other and are dating. The agencies warned they would take strong legal action against false reports, unfounded speculation, and malicious posts. The pair confirmed their relationship in April 2024.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。